Hey everybody, it's Callie here. Today I wanted to kind of delve a little deeper into this whole kratom and addiction topic because something I'm well aware of is that a lot of people are dealing and battling with addiction, and a lot of them don't know what to do, where to go, who to turn to. I mean, the system has some things set in place like the 12-step program, but it's proven that a lot of these things don't always work for a lot of people because they don't really get to the source of the issue. They just help you kind of step by step work through certain things, but they don't help you with the overall picture of addiction. And for those of you who 12-step has worked, more power to you, okay? Because you really have to have the will. You really do have to have the will. So I think a good place to start is with addiction itself, and what causes people to become addicted to things. There's things like physical issues, mental issues, emotional issues, boredom. People start drugs for lots of different reasons, and in a lot of cases, they've been prescribed these drugs. They have had physical pain and the doctor says, okay, here you go. And so, I mean, no matter what the situation is, once your body becomes physically and chemically dependent on something, it's like it's sunken its talons deep into your flesh, and to get it out, you have to rip out a whole lot of yourself. So, one major thing that keeps people addicted to things for a long time is the withdrawal. They know deep down that they need to quit, they shouldn't quit, that they shouldn't be doing what they're doing, but every time they try to quit, they're faced with the withdrawal, or the detox is also what it's called. And that is almost unbearable. I know I went through 4 years after I was trying to get sober for 4 years, and it was so hard with the physical withdrawal that I just couldn't do it until I found kratom. So yeah, the physical withdrawal, the symptoms of withdrawal they range. Everyone experiences something different, but you get weak, you get fatigued, you shake, you get cold sweats, you sneeze, you have a runny nose, you can't think straight, you may start puking, depending on what you're taking, how much of it you're taking. I mean, the physical withdrawal it wreaks havoc on the mind, the body. And so a lot of the time, people end up in this trap of whatever, especially pharmaceuticals, because pharmaceuticals have things in them that make them more addictive than what any natural herb would have. So they end up imprisoned by whatever this chemical or pill it is that they're taking. And so it's hard for people to really understand who've never actually been chemically addicted to something, because a lot of them say, well, they started it, can't they just quit? And of course they did make the choice to start, but the choice to stop is one that requires so much willpower that we are not trained for. In the United States, we're not taught how to use our own will. It's not something that they bring out of us. They just kind of program us to repeat, repeat, read, repeat, regurgitate. It's like, we don't learn how to really think for ourselves. We just kind of do what we're told. And so, and when, you're so miserable that you've turned to something like drugs to escape reality, then coming back to reality is very difficult. It's very difficult. Just that sobriety alone and dealing with the real world without the drug is enough to make someone go back to using, because not only do they not know how to deal with the emotions sober, they don't know how to deal with their mind sober, but they don't know how to deal with the people sober. They don't know how to deal with their environment sober. I remember the first time I had to do drugs to go see people. Like, if I was gonna go hang out with a friend, I couldn't do that sober. I needed to do whatever drug I was on at the time to actually just go there and be with whoever I wanted to be with. And it didn't matter whether it was friends, family, lovers, anything. I needed to be have that chemical in me in order to just cope or function properly. And so addiction is such a hard thing to overcome. And with opiates, only 10% of people who get addicted to opiates are able to actually get off of them and maintain a life healthy off of these opiates. So it's very hard. And yeah, the withdrawal is just something that people kind of overlook. But when your mind, because you have to understand, it affects the survival instincts of the mind. So you take these drugs and you get adrenaline and it feels really good and you're like, yeah, I like this feels good. You have a rush and you keep doing it, and eventually it stops feeling good. And the rush kind of goes away, but the mind is so attached to that feeling. It wants more and more and more. And a lot of people call this chasing the dragon. I was super lucky that I didn't do this. I was the type of addict that had, okay, I'm going to do a little bit in the morning just so I don't have withdrawal, do a little bit in the afternoon just so I don't have withdrawal, and a little bit at night just so I don't have withdrawal. You know, I wasn't someone that was like, let me get effed up all the time. You know, it wasn't like that for me. I just wanted to numb that part of my mind that kept talking and numbed the feeling, because I used to feel stuff so deeply. Anything in pain, I felt that pain. I was too much, if it's possible, I was just such an empathetic person that living a life without these chemicals numbing me after the trauma I had experienced was just, too difficult. Remember, I started after my ex murdered my dog, and I wasn't even there, but losing a dog is really hard, and having it done in such a vindictive and horrible way. And it wasn't his fault. He was raised by people who killed their dogs, and he was raised by people who abused, his dad abused his mom, and that was just his lifestyle. And I had no idea what that meant or what I was even getting myself into. I was young, And so this withdrawal leaves people super desperate, because on one side their mind is saying, hey, you're going to die if you don't get this. And even though they're not going to die, the mind still makes them think that. So they'll do crazy stuff. I mean, that's when people rob people, they kill people. They do such crazy things out of desperation because they're in this prison from these chemicals. And yeah, your survival instincts, aka the ego, takes over, and then there's no compassion, then there's no logic, and you're literally just a basic structure creature working on just the survival instincts. You're not thinking logically because you're disconnected from your emotions, you're disconnected from your compassion. So without a balance of that love and that fear, there is no logic. So yeah, withdrawal is something that is very looked over, and it is such an intense thing, and that is what keeps people addicted to drugs for so long. Because when you're sick, you don't feel good, and you have to function in life, good luck quitting. You need that stuff just to function normally, because now your body's used to it. And so it's something really, really difficult for people. But I'm going to be doing a few different videos on this subject. If you guys, I have tons of videos that I'm going to be doing. I'm kind of just trying to see what people want to hear. So yeah, if you guys like these videos, be sure to like, comment. Please comment. If you're struggling with addiction, someone, comment on the video, share the video so they know what withdrawal is like. They can understand. It's not always these people's faults. They really have lost control of themselves. They are in there, but they have lost control. They do not have control. This drug completely has taken over every part of their life, every single part. It thinks for them. It feels for them. It acts for them. So remember, like, comment, share, and last but not least, subscribe, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. Subscribe if you like my videos. All right? I'm out, you guys. Take care.